Marco, share with us your experience and how do you promote Padel worldwide, thanks to your activity as ambassador, as a consultant, as expert. How do you connect the brand with the market or the Padel market? Sorry, why I use two microphones? This is your.
Thank you. Thank you, Selena, and thank you for the invite, first of all. And just for you to know, guys, I was not the person that created the godfather of Padel in the US. Was the media outlet calling me that. It's not something that I'm not using for myself. They are using that, and I'm accepting that with a lot of humility, humbleness, and responsibility. But it's not something that I created. Being said that, obviously, I think the storytelling is important in every single vertical, in every single market, in all industries itself. But something that I was reflecting when listening to our previous panel, and congrats for the great job, by the way, is that I think that marketing has evolved, from branding into the experimental marketing or the engagement era, right? So it is saving time, saving money, or saving frictions. If you create something that is saving one of these three, you are very close to be bought, by everyone. But in addition to that, I think we are in the era of values, right? So brands are not as important anymore because I think that business are made by people. And I want to share, a couple of reflections in here. One is brands, sell more values. Are you guys familiar with the idea of the love brands? Love brands are like Tesla or iPhone, or these kind of brands, which is kind of the expectations of all of us. We are all interested in creating one brand that is recognizable itself like that, and people love because of what they are. Not because of the product, not because of the features, not because of the product itself. People buy iPhones because it's iPhone, because they understand, what the values behind iPhone are, right? So, and we have, multiple cases, like super business cases like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a drink, but I think what actually you are buying is more happiness than the drink, right? When you buy Rolex, the machine is amazing, right? But you are kind of buying status or social currency or something like that. And what is more interesting, and when I was sitting in there, just to reassure my thought, I was double checking the website, and the Instagram profiles of several brands, right? And you go to Coca-Cola, and you don't see any bottle. When you go to the Instagram account of Red Bull, check, guys, you don't see any product in there. When you go to these big brands, Instagram, what they are selling, one more time, and we were discussing yesterday about it, is values, is emotions. So what you are watching in there, they are trying to make their audience resonate with something that is the value that they want to be attached to, right? Instead of selling product. So if we change our approach, if we start not selling, our theaters, because in reality, the theaters are not making that a big difference. What you are doing is creating, values that people resonate with, and then they are following you because of that, right? You guys agree?
Yeah. But
thank you.
Do you think
I have some friends in there, so yes. Thank you.
And what about the Padel? So it's interesting what are you saying.
Padel, I would say, is one of the business cases, of this. Padel had the ability to start attracting big brands because of that, because of the values of the sport. Everybody wants to connect with all these values that we are always talking about. It's the social aspect, it's the community, it's easy to learn, hard to master, as we say in the United States, the popularity, the split in between men and women, the inclusion and so on. But a couple of, before I'm letting my colleagues, talk, I wanted to reflect as well, on a general basis. There are certain points that I think are important in this era, right? One is betting and gamification. So we all need to leverage on technology when we are trying to push our marketing campaigns. Technology is absolutely key, and vetting and gamification are changing the rules of marketing and experiences. And this is very connected with the personalization, of the campaigns. That's why, at the beginning I was saying it's not branding only anymore. We are looking for activations and experience marketing. People want to receive that experience, for themselves, and that's why apps are working very well, and this kind of, gamification activities, or activations that are kind of AI, like connected. Sorry.
No, but because you are stimulating me with other questions, no? Because, for example, we were talking about the national, local Italian market, no? That is a small ones, but we understood that there are some difference, northern and southern and central. I'm thinking to the US market, that it is so large. I think that you can, meet so many other differences. Is it the same? What are you saying? Is it the same for, I don't know, all the states, or is it the same in New York as instead in other small towns? Engagement or experience, or how do you do this?
I have two
locally?
thoughts, and I'm not an American person, so we have
then
Brian.
please help me. Or
I live in the US, but I'm from Spain, so I'm a
So your
Latin guy
soul
like you
is
guys. But
different.
what I would say is, like, I have two thoughts. America is probably the place where actually dreams can become a reality, right? Because they are very business oriented. We were having a discussion about it, like, hey, you gotta demonstrate, that you are ready for the challenge. You gotta under promise and over deliver. You gotta be the one that is always first and leaving the last one. But I think it's a country that luckily reward the efforts. And they are very proud, and I'm very proud too, to work in the US, because they are the ones that are pushing you to try again, and there's no failures, it's just up and downs along the journey. There's no failures, it's just different step along the way. But also, on my second thought on that is that we all have the responsibility to adapt to our different audiences. And I wouldn't say that is in regard of the states that you are, it's in regard of the audiences that you are willing to attract. So yesterday we were talking about how to become customer-centric or member-centric, or understand deeply, understand your audience. And when I say deeply, it's because you really need to make decisions for and by the audience and the buyer persona that you are trying to adapt. It's easy to say, but it's not that easy to do. You gotta put yourself, in that mentality and put the customer in between the center of everything that you are doing.
It's the protagonist.
Absolutely.
For sure. So thanks for your story, and it's definitely interesting.